And sometimes it can even, by the way, a lot of our most powerful truths turn out to be hunches. They turn out to be based on anecdotes.
Yeah.
They're intuition based. And sometimes you don't even have strong data. But you may know the person well enough to trust their judgment. You may feel yourself leaning in. It may resonate with a set of anecdotes you have. And then you may be able to say, something about that feels right. Let's go collect some data on that. Let's try to see if we can actually know whether it's right. But for now, let's not disregard it because it feels right. You can also fight inherent bias. There's an optimism bias. Like if there are two interpretations of a new set of data, and one of them is happy and one of them is unhappy, it's a little dangerous to jump to the conclusion that the happy interpretation is right. You may want to sort of compensate for that human bias of looking for, trying to find the silver lining and say, look, that might be good, but I'm going to go with it's bad for now until we're sure.
So speaking of happiness bias, data collection, and anecdotes, you have to. How's that for a transition? You have to tell me the story of the call you made, the customer service call you made to demonstrate a point about wait times.
Yeah, this is very early in the history of Amazon.
Yes.
And we were going over a weekly business review and a set of documents. And I have a saying, which is when the data and the anecdotes disagree, the anecdotes are usually right. And it doesn't mean you just slavishly go follow the anecdotes then. It means you go examine the data. Because and it's usually not that the data is being miscollected. It's usually that you're not measuring the right thing. And so, if you have a bunch of customers complaining about something, and at the same time, your metrics look like they shouldn't be complaining. You should doubt the metrics. And an early example of this was we had metrics that showed that our customers were waiting, I think, less than, 60 seconds when they called a 1-800 number to get, phone customer service. The wait time was supposed to be less than 60 seconds. But we had a lot of complaints that it was longer than that. And anecdotally, it seemed longer than that. Like, I would call customer service myself. And so one day we're in a meeting or going through the WBR and the weekly business review, and we get to this metric in the deck. And the guy who leads customer service is defending the metric. And I said, okay, let's call. And I picked up the phone and I dialed the 1-800 number and called customer service. And we just waited in silence for
What did it turn out to be? Like
it
4
was
minutes?
really long, more than 10 minutes, I think.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was many minutes. And so, it dramatically made the point that something was wrong with the data collection. We weren't measuring the right thing. And that, set off a whole chain of events where we started measuring it right. And that's an example, by the way, of truth telling is like, that's an uncomfortable thing to do.
Yeah.
But you have to seek truth even when it's uncomfortable, and you have to get people's attention and they have to buy into it and they have to get energized around really fixing things.
So that speaks to the obsession with the customer experience.